On March 6, 2026, the day after I confronted Peachtree City Council about missing audio from the Kennesaw retreat, as well as a recorded conversation at the retreat that mentioned a 700,000 square foot data center, Peachtree City released a letter claiming that what I spoke of was misinformation. I'm going to go through the letter line by line and point out the carefully crafted and purposefully deceptive language that attempts to undermine the uncontroverted facts I stated. The letter begins. The city of Peachtree City is aware that misinformation is circulating on social media, suggesting that the city is pursuing a data center through an annexation effort or that certain recent activities in Coweta County are connected to the city's decision to conduct an annexation study. These claims are inaccurate. On February 12th, Peachtree City Council unanimously approved conducting an annexation study after several years of discussion. I'm going to stop there first. Although the discussion may have been going on for several years, Peachtree City Council suddenly determined that an annexation study must be approved the day after the data center developer purchased the 1,500 acres of land adjacent to the city. This is not a coincidence. The letter goes on. The purpose of this study is to evaluate the city's boundaries and to better understand long-term planning considerations, including traffic, zoning, service delivery, infrastructure, and economic development opportunities. The city last conducted an annexation study in 2014, and periodic studies like this are a common planning practice used by municipalities to guide future policy decisions. To clarify, this is where we get into deceptive language. The city of Peachtree City has not been approached by any data center company. By using the words data center company, this statement is grammatically accurate but contextually false. Data center companies do not directly approach municipalities. The data center developer and the development authority both act as intermediaries for the data center company. In this case, we know that the Fayette County Development Authority, who brought QTS to Fayetteville, has directly approached City Council about this parcel of land. The next bullet point, the city does not currently have zoning that supports data centers. This sentence purposefully uses the word currently as a modifier. As I have previously explained in my annexation primer, under Georgia law, the city has to adopt a specific zoning ordinance for the annexed property at the time of annexation. This will occur in the future and therefore is not current zoning. Additionally, the zoning adopted doesn't even have to mention data centers to allow them. This is how ordinances fly under the radar and avoid public scrutiny. As we have seen during the QTS data center annexation in Fayetteville, the City Council states that we have to get through annexation and zoning first before more details can be released to the public. However, at that point, the data center cannot be stopped. The data center developer will have already put in an application for a data center that the City Council cannot then arbitrarily deny. The next bullet point, the annexation study is not related to any proposed data center project. This sentence hinges on the word proposed. There are no formal proposals currently because the property has not been annexed. Once annexation occurs, the proposal will then be officially submitted by the developer. The next bullet point, the annexation study is not connected to any specific parcels of land. This sentence is an outright lie. We now have the handwritten notes of the Peachtree City Recording Secretary showing that annexation of land in Coweta County was discussed during the Fayette County Development Authority presentation at the Kennesaw Retreat on January 29th. The property was purchased and the annexation study was approved less than 2 weeks later. The next bullet point. The annexation study is not related to a proposed federal grant intended to extend water infrastructure in Coweta County. I did not make this statement, and I do not know the purpose of the federal grant as I haven't researched it. It may be related to one of the many other proposed data centers in Coweta County, including the proposed data center near Noonan that was put forth by the same purchaser of the 1,500-acre tract of land next to Peachtree City. The letter goes on to say, during a recent presentation by the Fayette County Development Authority on regional economic trends, data centers were briefly mentioned as an example of industries developing in other parts of the county, which are being utilized to provide meaningful property tax relief for residents. I'm going to stop right there. To date, there has been no property tax relief from the existing data center in Fayetteville. This is one of the reasons I'm running for county commission. I will ensure that revenue generated from QTS be used to lower homeowners' property taxes in Fayette County, and if possible, utility rates. The letter then goes on to state that the city of Peachtree City is dedicated to transparency. That remains to be seen.